with the second one.
Yeah, I'm going with pedo.
Yeah. It's even worse if I do this.
Oh, I see. It's because you've got the I don't know, 80s polo, like long sleeve top.
I know.
We used to sell those at the store I worked at, and I looked terrible in them.
They're comfy though. I do have to say.
But you've got a zipper against your bare skin. I don't like the idea of that.
That's how I roll, baby. Ah.
I'm recording, by the way.
Oh. Yeah, me too, I think. Who knows? Who cares?
Hopefully it works.
We haven't done this for quite a while.
Yeah. This would be the 6th episode? The 6th and last episode we're ever going to make.
And last. Yeah. Loads of things have happened since we last did one, but also nothing has happened.
Nothing that interesting, really.
I've got like some things to talk about, but
Good. It's good to have things.
yeah. But nothing of worth, really. Are you all set?
Am I all set?
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
Well, I wanted to start off with something that has just happened, and I've got this whole conspiracy thing again going on.
Oh God.
And yes, it's about aliens.
I do
Again.
like aliens.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So I watched this really bad Netflix show called Alien Worlds the other day.
Oh God, I saw that was on there. I really wanted to watch it.
It's one of those fucking shows that's like, it's trying to act all smart, and it's like, this is what genuine scientists believe life could be like on other planets. But then when you actually look at it, it's off of no evidence. There's nothing. These planets don't exist. It's not like they've found planets in the solar system that could be like this. And then they've just got some like designers to come up with like their own fanfic aliens that exist. Like Monster Hunter, like designers and stuff. And it's like,
yeah, they just get concept artists to do work for them.
yeah. So they're like, oh, on this planet, gravity is heavier than on Earth, but there's like thermal air that's so dense that it causes creatures to fly permanently. So there's just all these flying creatures that once they're born and they fly off the land, that's it. And then if they ever land, they die. And it's like they're coming up with what they look like and how they have sex and what they eat. And it's like, this is just some guy who wanted to like add like Mass Effect fan fiction, but couldn't. And this is it.
Yeah, I was just thinking, these are like those people. Do you remember like that wave of people who basically just killed themselves because they could never live in Pandora from the Avatar world? This is people who are like still holding on to that. Like they're thinking there's going to be a planet that they can go to one day where shit like that's real.
wait, did those people, did they want to go there because, did they want to be on Pandora as an alien, as a blue man? As part of the Blue Man group, or did they want to be one of the human? Because that's a fetish, isn't it?
I
like really
so.
Tall people and then like little small humans walking around these big-footed blue people.
Yeah. No,
so that's probably why they killed themselves. But...
yeah. No, I think it was just because they're like, this world's so beautiful and amazing, and we're never going to be able to go there. We're just stuck in fucking. I don't know what central England where the sky is grey every day.
Yeah, our planet is funny because our planet does feel like the most boring, generic planet to us.
Yeah,
and yet the reality is this is like the most amazing planet that actually exists that we know of, and we're like, fuck it.
We're like, this is boring as shit. It's not like we've had like industrial revolutions. We've done all these amazing
caveman
things.
revolutions.
Yeah, we've lived through so many ages. It's amazing.
Yeah,
but it's also dead.
Yep. I was oh yeah. So this show, right? What's worse about it is that it's trying to relate things to on Earth. So when it's talking about the gravity thing and flying, it's also showing clips of like eagles and explaining exactly how eagles like. But it cuts to this CGI world for, I would say, 20 seconds at a time, and then it cuts back to Earth for 20 minutes, and it's like a guy explaining the theory behind everything. Then it cuts back for 20 seconds again, but it cuts back just before, so you repeat everything. So it's like it shows like an alien creature, this little gas bag that explodes, and then it comes back to it and it repeats that and then adds a tiny bit more to the footage. So in reality, an hour-long show, you have about 5 minutes of this CGI world that's the point of the fucking show,
Right.
and that's it. And it keeps repeating the same footage. It's like those really bad, like, Lifetime drama kind of reenactment things.
This, I mean, have you ever watched like Ancient Aliens on the History Channel?
All the time.
It's fucking amazing. It sounds like that. Like the production is just absolutely god awful.
Yeah.
Like you're like, who actually watched this show and thought like, yeah, this is good.
Yeah. Like, to be fair though, Ancient Aliens is good in a garbage way.
Yeah, well, because I suppose
It's like
you know,
easy to consume.
yeah, which is exactly why they make it.
But whereas that is entertaining, this thing wasn't. But one thing that caught my eye, there was a guy who worked the Arecibo telescope in Peru.
Right.
Basically, that, you know, in GoldenEye where Sean Bean gets yeeted off of that telescope thing at the end.
Sean Bean was in GoldenEye.
Duh. I thought you were a massive Sean Bean fan.
No,
You've got a tattoo of him.
I like Boromir.
Oh yeah, okay, fair enough. No, yeah, okay. Sean Bean's in it. He gets kicked off by Pierce Brosnan. But anyway, so this telescope is like the one that they first sent out the messages into space in the 70s,
Right.
and it hasn't been used again for that because the governments were like worried about doing it in case they like attract anything they didn't want to.
Oh my god.
So this is where I'm going with it, right?
Okay,
This
go on.
documentary, for like 15 minutes, shows this guy, and he's at a press conference, and he's like, "I really think that from now on, from today, we should start sending out more messages every day, not just one, but like continuously into space.
Yeah.
Because of all the new stuff we've got. Solid, like, yeah, do it. Fuck it." The very week that this series went out, which was last week, the Arecibo telescope collapsed.
Collapse.
Remember, no one wanted him to do it. That's why he had to keep going to these conventions, trying to get people on his side to be like, look, let's just send more messages out. And
Yeah.
when he gets his piece broadcast, the telescope is just destroys. It just collapses. And it's been there since the 70s, and it's been fine.
That's a bit dodge. So you're saying you're a conspiracy theorist and you think the governments are out to stop us from interacting with alien life.
Yes. And I also look like a conspiracy theorist too, so.
To be fair, have you ever?
But
watched...
also, another thing, this relates to it. Sorry, I will stop talking soon. But the very same week that all that kind of coincidentally happened, an Israeli scientist came out who
They
has
have
worked for the
scientists
Israeli
there?
government. Huh?
They have scientists there.
Apparently, it's probably just some like guy in a mud hut who like plays tic-tac-toe with a monkey. But he came out and he's worked for them for 30 or 40 years, right? He's really renowned. He's had multiple books published. He's had books written about him.
Wait, I've seen. I know what you're talking about. I've seen this.
Yeah, and he came out and said, now that I'm at a point where people respect my opinion, I've waited 30 years to tell people that the American government, the Israeli government, and a few others have been in contact with an alien galactic federation.
Intergalactic Federation, the goddamn Senate.
The fucking Palpatine Senate for years. And he could have came out with this, but he wanted to get everyone to believe him. And he's saying that Trump knows, and that was going to be the first thing that Trump was going to announce when he became president.
For, I
I just
mean,
find it funny that all these things happen at once.
I want to believe it. That's the thing. I mean,
I
Trump
want to believe.
Trump doesn't know shit. There's no way they told him.
He is one.
You think he's an alien? He's
Yeah.
he's like that fucking old guy from Men in Black, where he's got the little alien in his scalp, and he comes out and he's like, Orion's belt.
Lion's belt. I'm just reading the. I'm just reading like what the guy was saying exactly because there was stuff that he. Oh yeah, so the Galactic Federation wished to avoid mass panic because Trump was going to obviously say that this exists. Because humanity needs to evolve and reach a stage where we will understand what space and spaceships are. As apparently we have no idea what space actually is.
I mean, it's not like people haven't been studying it for the past 100 years.
Yeah, exactly. The past
Right.
100 years.
Oh.
He reportedly said that if he came out with his claims 5 years ago, he would have been hospitalized and no one would ever hear from him again. But now that he has nothing to lose and he's got all his degrees and awards and people believe and respect him, he thought now would be the time. So basically, he's probably going to be executed at some point. But I just wanted to get his message out there.
Yeah, we need to spread the words of this Israeli guy.
Yeah, I didn't even bother to learn his name, but who cares?
I mean, I do love these kind of stories, like of like someone who's like, I have nothing to lose anymore, so I'm gonna spill all these like government secrets. Like, do you remember there was that documentary about like basically doping and stuff for the Olympics, and I think it was a Russian,
Oh, yeah.
like the Russian like medical scientist. He was like working with this guy on this documentary, and eventually spilled it, and he had to like secretly flee the country. It was really cool.
I find it crazy that stuff happens like that all the time in like the most weirdest of places. Like, yeah, especially that, like the whole doping thing. But I wonder, like, how much else there is that like is going to come out. It's like the whole COVID vaccine thing. Like, yeah, okay, it's great, we've got it. It's great. It's been given out to people that are already on their deathbeds and literally look like they're about to crumble into dust.
Goddamn William Shakespeare just got it. Fucking dickhead.
But it's like there's all this stuff coming out. So this guy on the radio the other day was saying about how everyone's excited, but no one's looked at the fact that this trial was only run successfully for a week. They then didn't do anything further. So as far as they know, the vaccination works for a week.
Yeah. Well, this is the fastest turnaround it's ever taken for a vaccine to get into public hands. That's insane. Like,
and that makes it sound like they've just thrown any shit in there. Like an ant crawled into the test tube. Okay, fine. Well, we haven't got time to clear it.
I guarantee they don't know exactly what it is that's making this vaccine successful.
Yeah.
Because
No, that's true. Because there was a thing on the news yesterday morning that all of a sudden someone who had the vaccine yesterday, 4 people had massive like anaphylactic shock from it.
Right.
So one guy had like an allergy of something that he didn't even know about that, no one would. He got it and he nearly died because he had the vaccine. So they're saying that there is so much shit in it that no one knows what it's going to do to random people of all types and all ages. Like,
yes, and it's like that sounds like a very small number, like 4 people. But then when you think probably only maybe 1,000 people have probably had the vaccine at the moment. Maybe I don't know exactly. I think when you give it to 60 million people across the country, that's going to be insane.
You'd have to imagine that even if it was like 5%, 2% of that kind of amount of people, that's still pretty bad.
Yeah.
That's what happened with. Oh, go on.
I think it's funny because I think it's ridiculous the people who say like vaccines cause autism, like vaccines cause learning disabilities, all that stuff. That's bullshit. That's ridiculous. But this, I am kind of like, ooh, bit dodge.
Yeah, it's weird that I feel the same. Where like, actually, yeah, I was having a conversation the other day about how like the whole autism side of things that people claim about vaccinations. It's like half the time the reason people believe that is because there was a study done where it was literally done on 10 black males, all about the same age originally. And then that's where they got the results from. That's why they said it caused autism, because maybe, but it's like you did it on one type of person.
One type of person. That's a very small sample size, even. Like, there's no. I don't know. If you were in school and you had to present for your GCSEs like an experiment you did in chemistry, that kind of shit wouldn't fly. You have to do repeat experiments under different conditions.
Different conditions, changing certain things, like, and remapping your evidence.
You would fail. You can't cite this when you're arguing with people on Facebook.
Yeah. God damn. This is like the same thing as like when I was in school. I had to do this like helicopter thing where I had to do like, I made a helicopter out of paper.
I've had to do the same shit.
Well, it's good to see the education system hasn't changed, considering you and me are like 8 years apart.
Yeah, isn't it? You just like cut like a little bit into two like slices of paper, stick them together,
and then drop it.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And then you had to like cut. You had to cut like the ends off bit by bit and see the drop rate and shit.
How fast it would fall. Yeah.
God damn.
That's so good.
It would be like the year 3000 and like, yeah, we've made all these amazing technological advancements, but in like elementary school, the kids still have to do that.
You have to drop little paper fucking airplanes.
Oh, but I don't know. Like, it's good that there's vaccines out and everything, but I just feel like I'm glad that we're in the age bracket that will not get it until like they know the bigger issues.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, by the time it gets to us, it'll be spring or summer, I suppose.
Yeah.
And by that point, they should have a better idea of what's actually going on with it, I think.
So, I don't know that like COVID 2 will happen. Like COVID 2. Did something happen?
Yeah, you just went really out of sync.
Oh no, I can't hear you.
Oh no.
God
I think
damn
it's
it. And I had a great topic too. I've got one about dinosaurs.
Wait, because I can hear you.
Man.
Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you.
Oh, sweet. I literally moved a cable and everything went out of sync. I couldn't speak.
Oh, shit.
You like started coming out of my monitor.
Oh, damn.
You like grabbed me, tried to pull me into the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go on about your dinosaurs. Actually, I was doing Christmas shopping yesterday, and I very nearly bought you a dinosaur.
Wait, what kind of? Why would you say that?
Because I didn't end up getting it.
Why?
Because it
What
was
is
like
wrong with you?
it was like this little crystal dinosaur, that was like meant to be hung on your tree as like a thing, but it was like 20 quid.
Oh, okay.
I'm
glad you didn't.
I'm not spending 20 quid on an ornament.
No. I would have smashed it. I would have crushed it under my bare feet.
Like when
I would have taken
Jewish
my
people
shoes and
get
socks
married
off.
and, like, you would have die-harded yourself on a like little crystal dinosaur.
Yeah. It's like I don't know why. I just had this thing in my head of like, I would love to like redo Die Hard, but everything is like, but with like a really clumsy guy, more so than John McClane in the first one. It's like there's one shard of glass in that entire complex bit at the top,
Just
and
one
he
little bit.
somehow manages to stand on that one bit.
Oh, yeah. It's not even like huge like issues it causes. It's just like minor inconveniences. But it's like, oh shit! Now I need to get some fucking rubbing alcohol, like antibacterial soap. Now I need a plaster.
He's going around. He's wasting all this time trying to like mend his cut.
He's one like it's not even like a big shard of glass. It's just like.
It's funny you were saying about you nearly bought me a dinosaur thing though, because I nearly bought you a dinosaur thing as well.
What?
But again, I didn't.
Why not?
Because again, same thing. It was like too expensive for what it was. It was essentially, it was like you build out of paper kind of origami. You build these dinosaurs and you put a light in it and they're lamps.
Oh, that sounds awesome, actually.
Yeah, well, you're not getting it, so.
What's your favorite dinosaur?
Oh,
I
Allosaurus. Maybe no Spinosaurus.
I like
Diplodocus.
brachiosauruses. I think they're cool.
What do you like, Brachiosaur?
Yeah.
They're cool, and they're basically untouchable.
Yeah, they're insanely huge. Like they can't be taken down by fucking anything.
Well, a machine gun could probably take one down, but
Yeah, but it'd take a little while.
you know what? In the future, when they do finally clone dinosaurs and go all Jurassic Park, all they'll be used for is like you can go to a firing range and just kill a dinosaur. That's what it'll be.
That's
Just
true.
fucking pump them full of lead. These big,
These,
beautiful brachiosaurs with their babies.
I mean, think of the people who spend fucking fortune on going to Africa and shooting lions. Like it's
Yeah,
disgusting. People would do it.
that you've just brought up a question there because like, what happens if cloning is like a universal thing in the future? You can clone anything. No animal is now endangered.
Yeah.
Would it be still frowned upon to go and hunt them?
Well, I mean, I would because I just disagree with the idea of killing an
Yeah.
animal for sport rather than.
Yeah, but imagine the thrill.
To be fair, I mean,
Okay, wait. What if it was tracking? Okay, not just killing like elephants and shit like that, horrible things. What if you're tracking down velociraptors? Then that's like a challenge. That's like mano v mano. That's like
okay, but the Velociraptor doesn't know that it's a game. The
no.
Velociraptor doesn't like. You don't even know that it knows it's being hunted.
But
It would.
velociraptors are smart. They'll know it's being hunted.
I've always wanted to try and get on that show that's like, I forget what it's called, but you have to basically get off the grid and you have like a week or something to basically hide from these
Oh,
professional like people who are meant to hunt.
trackers.
Yeah, they like figure out because I think I could do it.
Yeah, I've always thought about this shit as well. Because there's so many things you can do, like even hiding your tracks and like covering.
Yeah,
Because you know that they're going to use like thermal imaging shit, so you're going to predator yourself
yeah,
up and
yeah.
cake yourself in mud and
See the basic stuff like you gotta like ditch all the credit cards. You can't be having any of that. No
yeah.
tracing.
Oh, I don't know why I was thinking more in like you're just in a field and
Oh,
forest.
that
I
would
know what
be
you mean
that
now.
would also be cool. That would also be really cool. That I don't know if
There-
I could do.
See, so there was this show right that was going to happen in Russia.
Right.
Um, there was this huge plot of land that covers mountains, forests, regions, lakes, and what the plat of the show was you get like 10 contestants, volunteers, where they get plunged into this, and there are no rules. So
Right.
you can commit murder, you can rape, you can commit cannibalism, and it's up to them to just survive and
There's,
like last 30 days.
there's no way this would ever get to air. Maybe in Russia, I suppose.
Well, hold on. If I type in
What
Russian show,
This is just basically
um,
like you've seen Battle Royale, right? The
it
movie.
yeah, that was the inspiration for the show.
That's that's
Oh, this
awesome.
is it. Right, so it was going to be called Game 2, Winter.
Game two.
Uh, Contestants were asked to sign a waiver acknowledging they may not survive. Oh my god, 9-month Siberian wilderness challenge.
9 months.
And if crimes are committed, they will not be arrested.
Well,
They can be maimed and even killed, and they will not be helped. 2,000 cameras, 900 hectares on 30 people. Everything is allowed: fighting, alcohol, murder, rape, smoking, anything.
how would they even if they're in the wilderness? How would they smoke? How would they get
I
alcohol?
think the idea was to have like abandoned cabins with like supplies and shit
Oh,
and
okay.
drops.
You would
Uh,
have to. This would have to be like totally recognized by the government because if they're committing crimes, they're committing like literally things that would go against the Geneva Convention.
yeah, they would
Like,
have to be. Yeah, because you could win, and then you get arrested the second you
yeah,
get off the.
you're like, and the prize for this has to be insane.
I
wouldn't
didn't look, but I think it was like it was obviously just money, but
but like how much? Like
probably not that much. Couple of like pesos.
how much would it take for you to go on this show? Did you say it was 9 months as well?
Yeah.
9 months is
I would
hard.
go on it if I had no life.
If I had like just lost my job and I had no prospects, maybe.
Yeah.
But then how
And if
much?
you had like no family kind of thing, like
Yeah, I suppose that's true.
it's like I've always thought about like would I do like the like free climbing and stuff.
Yeah.
I'd love to do that, but I wouldn't do it unless I literally had no like commitments to anything.
Yeah.
Because if I die, it's like, well, fuck it, it doesn't matter. But if you die now, if you went and did that, you know.
I couldn't do that. I don't think. Not the free climbing.
What was that What was that thing? That documentary? That guy who did the
Free solo.
free solo? Yeah, like watching that made me like sweat. Anyway,
Yeah, I like
He
just
might be.
watching him. My palms got really sweaty. I'm like, if that was actually me, I would die. I'd be dead.
yeah. Oh god. Yeah, I don't like any of that. I like to try stuff, but again, if I didn't have
Yeah.
anyone, if I could make a clone of myself, but then would people be sad that the clone died?
Yeah, but is fucking
Say you have a
debate
clone
again. All right. Is
No. You have a clone, and your clone decides to skydive from outer space.
okay.
But what happens is you get caught in some weird updraft or solar flare, and your clone gets shot back out into space and dies. And it's all over the news, and Mum's sat there, and you're sat there too. But it comes up with a picture of you, and it says, Matt 2 died in space.
Why would
Would she be sad?
Yes.
Wait, can you go and get her?
She's not here.
Oh man. The one time she actually leaves the bedroom.
I know.
That sounds really saucy, but I don't mean it like that.
That's not saucy at all, really. It's more sad.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I think so because okay, does the clone have my memories? Like, does it believe it's genuinely a person? Because that changes.
It has your memories, but it also acknowledges that it is a clone of you. It doesn't have your memories concurrently. It only has your memories up until the point it was born.
It's cloned, yeah. I don't know, because if that's the case, I do think it would be a person.
Yeah, but would anyone be like?
But
like, would people be sad? Like, would I be sad if I knew that it was your clone and I saw it die? Probably not.
why not? Why not? I'd like to think you'd be sad. Because I like the idea that there could be like two versions of me living out, and we live out like totally different lives, but we both came from the same point.
And you can you have the power to swap each other's brains over for like whenever you want.
Why are you just throwing in random shit? Like, what? Why can't you just leave?
Oh my god!
Use a
Yeah,
clone?
because what would happen is this is what would actually happen, right? Your clone goes into space to do this stupid adrenaline junkie shit. He starts coming down into the atmosphere, solar wind or something.
Realizes he's about to
blasts
die.
him back out, and at that moment he swaps brains with you.
Dickhead! Oh my god, that's brutal.
And we'd never know.
So bad. I mean,
That's horrible. That's like existential shit.
That's super existentialist.
Actually, going back to that terrible Alien Worlds thing, the last one was the only one that was intriguing. It was like a theoretical civilization that have evolved for like 9 billion years, where they don't need bodies. So it was like all these like cubes of like a liquid and these brain matter all connected. And there's like millions of them, but they're all individuals, but they can also share a hive mind. That's what people believe we will be.
That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
What? Yeah.
That's why would you? That sounds like That doesn't sound like a life. That's no way to live.
No, that's what I thought, because it was like they have evolved beyond the need for bodies or love. It's like, what?
So, no, because I mean, I'm very I don't know what you'd call it, Darwinist, believe in
Christian.
evolution. I'm strongly Orthodox Jew actually. No, I mean, I think like there's like what is it called, like the pyramid of human needs, of like you
Mm,
need like, yeah, obviously you need food, shelter, but you also need things like human contact, love. You need to
yeah.
feel things to be a person, or else you will literally go crazy.
I wonder if it would probably be different though if, okay, say we're all these like, we're brain jelly in cubes and we're all connected, but in that, we're actually in like a Ready Player One kind of thing. That would be different,
What
I
the
suppose.
no? What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, so we're all connected, but we're actually inside like we exist within a program, but we're all just jars of
What?
jelly.
Wait, so you're saying in the real world we're all jelly jar men?
Not
Yet,
no,
yet,
one day we will evolve into jelly jar
yeah,
people.
yeah. And but we live in a virtual world where we're like normal people that exist now.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like the Matrix, I guess, but what we actually are is just jelly
O-
brains.
Okay,
But
but
we know that we are.
we know we're jelly brains.
Yeah,
I'd
we know we've existed. We've evolved beyond the need for bodies.
I'd kill myself. I'd hate
Yeah, I
that.
probably would.
I could not like. Do you? I don't know. There's a little bit of me that believes we're in a simulation anyway. But if I knew for a fact that not only we were in a simulation, but I was also just a jar of like protoplasmic goop with like
Yeah.
neuron, just like a
No features.
big pile of neuron collections. I'd hate that. I'd want to die.
Yeah, but what if okay, so you know that you're in a simulation and that you are just like jelly. Um but then you also get you somehow you find out that you Skype with the owner of the humans, and you're like, "Oh, if I kill myself, do I get to exist then, like properly?" And he's like, "No, if you kill yourself, you either just die or you are just brain jelly. You're just jelly squirming around."
Well, then
I,
I would
oh shit! Because then you know that when you die, anyway, that's going to happen.
yeah. So if I don't live in the simulation anymore, then I just exist as a ball of goop. I can't do anything. I have no
Yeah,
control over myself.
yeah, but you're in the real world, so you're technically you're free.
That doesn't sound like freedom to me.
Yeah, I know. We're just asking the exact same questions that the Matrix asked.
Yeah, yeah, but in the Matrix, he was still a real person in the real world. He had
True.
features. He had the ability to feel, move, do things, feel warmth. Like, if you didn't have that, then there's no way to live. Even the most basic like pieces of life form on the planet still have the ability to like control over their body, to move, to like think to some degree.
True. What about those little water bear things? You know those tardigrades? What are they called?
Um,
The things
I,
that can live in space.
yeah. There's a technical name for them, but I think yeah, they're just called like water bears or something. Yeah, but again, like you can see the little clips of them. They're moving about. They're doing things.
Yeah, I suppose. I don't know. I don't like all this existential stuff. There are sometimes when I'm just like, it always hits you before you're about to go to sleep.
Yeah, it's true. To be fair.
But speaking of existential things that just seem to exist for eternity and never come out, or when they do, it like doesn't work out. Cyberpunk is out.
I'm so excited.
I'm excited too, and I'm really actually kind of angry that my copy hasn't arrived yet. But also, I'm kind of glad, like you were saying, that you're waiting for Christmas, so it should be fixed. Honestly, this game,
I saw I think it was Jason Schreier put up on Twitter or something that he was playing it, and for whatever reason, he just had a totally random glitch where just random trees came into existence everywhere he went in the world. Like he was just like in one of his, he was like in like a fucking like building complex, and there was just like parts of trees just like glitched all around the map.
Oh god. And he's probably playing it on like a PlayStation 5 or Series X or something.
Seems
So
so.
next gen technically. But the base PS4 and Xbox footage is unbelievable.
It's pretty bad.
Like it looks like the first Rage game, like textures and stuff. Like such a deep cut.
Yeah,
but if you look at footage of that, it
Rage
looks
was a
like your
great game,
typical.
though.
Yeah, at the time, but like it looks like that now. It's fucking like clearly they wanted to actually like delay it again.
Yeah, but the game was announced nearly 8 years ago now. If they didn't release it this year, I don't think people would care anymore.
Probably not. But then there's this thing going around. Like I looked at like Twitter earlier. Everyone who's now playing it on like PS4, like normal or Xbox, are being like, "This is unbelievable! Like, how could they release it in such a shit state?" And then the people replying are like, bruh, you should have played it on next gen. Like, what do you expect?" And it's like,
No,
this game was announced before these consoles were even announced or came out, before they came out. And it's like, we have stuff like Red Dead 2 on normal PS4s that run absolutely fine and it looks graphically better than Cyberpunk right now.
yeah. The fact that it doesn't have even just a stable build yet is pretty criminal.
Yeah. Like apparently it crashes quite a lot on like PS4 and like the textures just don't load at all, or like driving, you're driving and then every 5 seconds there's cars popping in and shit, and there's like game breaking bugs as well where you have to restart the whole thing.
It's funny that like Cyberpunk is actually out now, because I had to write an essay for one of my courses.
Oh yeah.
And I basically based it on like Cyberpunk.
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah.
Because I was writing about like video games and shit, and like I had to talk about a lot of like what that game does. Like I don't know, like certain aspects, especially like the customization thing, and how they were bragging about like the genital customization.
Yeah.
But there's so much controversy about that was like fucking pointless. Like people were saying that it's sexist that there's two penises that you can have in the game and you can change its size, but there's only one vagina. Like,
or yeah, well, I sent you those articles and you sent me some the other day, and it was pissing us off. Like someone complaining that like, okay, yeah, that actually, yeah, the same Polygon writer or Kotaku, I think it was Kotaku, and it's like, yeah, oh, how come there's only two penis options and one vagina option? And then they were also mad that your character doesn't get, like, no one speaks to your character and mentions it. But the point of Cyberpunk, it seems, is that people are so enhanced and just swapping their body parts out, nothing matters.
Right.
So no one's going to comment on your character having a penis and a vagina and be like, wow, that's so different and cool. Because it's already in the world, that's existed for hundreds of years. Like, it's not a big deal.
I mean, I think it's because people are in their heads about it a lot, because part of like this stuff I had to look into, there's like lots of studies that show that when people play games like, especially stuff like WoW or like Elder Scrolls games, when you have a lot of control over your character and how they're built and look and everything, the same like, you know, like pulleys and wires in your brain and shit that lights up when you look at in a mirror or when you're asked to talk about yourself, those same bits light up when you look at your character in a video game and when you get to customize them. And I think like a game like Cyberpunk, that shows so much how like people can get attached to their characters.
Yeah.
But the problem is, the point of the game is, it seems, is that you don't have to be attached to that.
So actually, yeah, that's a good point. So for example, the
brains.
yeah, so the transgender person who wrote the Kotaku review, who was saying that they find it criminal that no other like NPC makes a comment about their in-game character having like being transgender or non-binary, like or whatever.
Why should they
What
care?
you've just said makes more sense. So it's essentially that person playing being like, they need that affirmation in real life,
Yeah.
and they don't get it unless they're on Twitter. So what they want is that in the game. They go to a shop in the real world, no one really comments on it, but then they expect that if they go to a shop in the game, they should have someone say it to them. It's unrealistic expectations. It's like,
Well, I mean, yeah, games are basically escapism, and you want things that you can't have or do in real life to be there in the game. And when you have a game that's so advanced, like Cyberpunk, with the things and stuff you can do, when there's little things like that, people probably get very frustrated. Even though, people are just in their heads, they're pretty stupid, and it shouldn't really matter.
no. It does. It is funny because when you think about, I don't know, like how many times you started Skyrim, how many times have you made the character try and look like you?
I probably started like 10 different characters over the years that I've played Skyrim, and maybe a couple times I've tried to make it actually look like me. Rest of the time, I'm just like, let's make it look as weird as possible.
Yeah, exactly. Or like I'm a really big buff black guy, like a red guard or something. It's like I guess there are certain people that will make every single character if they can look like themselves, and they'll play it like themselves. But it's like that's why I love stuff like Mass Effect. Like I like escapism because then I don't have to be me.
Yeah.
I can play this completely different character if I want. Like Cyberpunk, I'm not going to make it look like me. I'll probably make it a girl or like I do want a penis and vagina.
I want both. I need to have both, please.
But yeah, I suppose you're right. Like there are people that really use it as a escapism from the things that they don't like about themselves, instead of an escapism from, because you and me probably do it the same. Like gaming is an escapism from the shit that you might have to deal with in life. Whereas for them, I guess it can be an escapism from how they feel in real life. Which I suppose is...
that's probably a good point. I mean, yeah, so many people play video games for different reasons. So when a game doesn't, it feels like it caters probably more to one aspect of that rather than the other. It can be quite difficult for people.
Yeah. I mean, I hope it gets better. I hope it gets fixed and like people actually enjoy the game and shit. But it's just nuts to me that I'm looking at the Metacritic right now and it's literally a 91. But the top review says it's buggy and it's flawed on many technical levels. But Cyberpunk is a unique and beautiful experience. 100 out of 100. All the reviews say it's buggy as shit, but it's amazing. 10 out of 10. And I remember when Days Gone came out and it had bugs that got fixed in the end. People were giving it like 6s and 7s out of 10s.
It's because people have been so hyped for Cyberpunk, and I think they're almost blinded by the fact that CD Projekt have made so many like technical masterpieces over the years, like the Witcher games, obviously. That they're like they deserve the benefit of the doubt. Whereas I think it's Ben's Studios who did Days Gone. They hadn't really done anything before that, so they don't deserve that.
Is that what? Yeah, so people do believe that, which I find insane because it's like, I don't know. I hate this idea of holding up a company to a regard that like, because like, okay, yeah, like The Witcher 3 was great, but there were bugs in that. I got a game breaking bug after like 120 hours of playing it, and I just never went back to it. And it was kind of messy at times, and Sony Bend, it's like, yeah, I can see, unless you're a Sony fanboy or like, you've played Golden Abyss. Oh, shit.
Sorry. I loved Golden Abyss, bro. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that's what I mean, though. Golden Breast was... Golden Breast?
Golden Breasts.
The Golden Breast game was amazing.
That's-
Yeah, Golden Abyss was great. They also did. What else did they do? There was something. They did like the God of War PSP games. Or was that Ready at Dawn? Fuck it, I can't remember.
I don't know. They probably. I know they did a lot of stuff on like the Vita and the PSP. I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
Nah, fuck it, I don't know. But I don't know. Like giving. Oh my god. Okay, Sony Ben did Bubsy 3D.
That's awesome. Oh my god, they did Bubsy 3D.
Yeah. It's just come
they-
up on their thing.
They
Oh
were
my
probably
God.
under a different studio name at that point, though. Right?
Yeah. I'd hope so. For everyone involved. But yeah, speaking of games, so the Game Awards are coming up tonight.
That'd be tonight.
So
yeah.
I swear to God, if it's like longer than The Lord of the Rings,
Yeah.
Jeff Keighley needs to get shot in the knee.
He has to present the rest of it by getting shot in the knee. If he bleeds out, Last of Us wins Game of the Year.
If he bleeds out, The Last of Us 2 wins every single award
Yeah.
by default. Even if the other awards have already been taken. If he dies at the last second.
They get retracted. No, guys. No. Moonlight won.
Oh.
No.
But the last one, I don't think we watched the last one. I think I tried and I gave. The last Game Awards was like 3 fucking hours.
Yeah, I think I watched the highlights the morning after.
Yeah, and it's like, just don't do that this time because you can only do it. All these people he's got as well, like Gal Gadot. It's like all the people that like.
Why the fuck are they there?
Because he wants it to come across again to like the mass market. It's so annoying.
Yeah.
Like he's got Swedish Chef on there, but that's fine.
I respect that. I mean, and actually, you know what? Swedish Chef is one of the only Muppets who could actually technically be a gamer. Because the way they puppeteer certain characters in the Muppets is different, and Rolf and Swedish Chef, I think, are the only two that have physical hands that come up because it's puppeteered by 2 people.
Yeah.
So he could be a game. He could be playing his little
Like
DualSense.
Twitch streaming.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
If they actually did Muppets streaming, I'd
Oh my God.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be sick.
They could technically do it. That'd be awesome.
Even as like a one-off sketch, that would be amazing. Like the Muppets play Among Us, or the Muppets play Fall Guys, or COD. Like
I think Disney Plus did release a Muppets show, and it's like them trying to create their own streaming service or something. Because I'm a fucking big Muppets fanboy. I don't know why. But I don't have Disney Plus, so I can't watch it.
oh man. Well, it's funny because I was I don't know why, branching out, but like talking about Disney today, like I was thinking about all the things that they've been censoring that have like gone under the radar. There's a list now of things that they've been changing.
I know that they got rid of the Michael Jackson episode of The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Which made me really upset because that's like one of my favorite episodes.
Yeah, I mean, how could you at least keep like just the section of Happy Birthday Lisa in it?
Yeah, of course.
Like, my God. But they've done like loads of stuff, like with The Simpsons as well. Though, do you remember they cropped it wrong?
Yeah.
They cropped it to like 16:9, and half of the jokes are missing off the screen. All the little background gags and shit are just gone. So it's like, why did they do it? But stuff like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, they've even like messed around with and shit.
Really?
Yeah. What's the name of the baby? They're like
the one who's like smoking a cigar and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he like at one point he puts his middle finger up when he leaves the cast.
Oh, I know the character you're talking about.
Mm.
Actually,
but it's like you see his middle finger for half a fucking second, and they decided to get.
I mean, it was probably a bit easier when that movie was made to like sneak past stuff. What is it called? The people who give it age ratings.
Oh,
it's like much easier to sneak stuff past them.
Yeah, the Film Classification Board.
Yeah.
Like,
but Also, it's funny you brought up Roger Rabbit because maybe this was like a while ago. I was just sat in the living room watching it because it was just on TV. And there's one bit where uh I can't. It was Donald Duck or Daffy Duck. I don't remember which one. Whatever. It was like they were in the club that Jessica Rabbit plays at,
Yeah.
and while he's off screen, you hear him yelling, and he clear as day he yells dumb stupid n-word. Like
No.
I promise you, I will find. I have the clip saved on my phone. I will find it and send it to you.
Okay.
I'll put it in the episode. Because I swear to God, clear as day, he says it.
I just want to like. I just.
It's one of those. I don't know if anyone else ever picked up on it when watching it, but I was just like not even paying attention. I heard it, and I was like, I have to like go back and. I guess it was. I forget. It's Looney Tunes hearing.
Yeah. So I just typed in Daffy Duck N-word.
Yeah.
And there is a. God, there was an article published in 1998 saying, did Donald Duck call Daffy Duck the N-word?
Oh, maybe it was both of them. See, oh my God.
So, what?
See if I can go on videos on my phone.
Some people think that it's just a variation of what he says, like when Donald Duck, when he goes off on one and he gets all hissy.
Yeah.
When he's like, "Why you doggone?"
Yeah. Why you doggone stupid?
Yeah. So perhaps it was something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, put it over the video at some point. That'd be great.
I'm gonna try and find it on my phone because I remember it.
All right, try find it, and then we'll discuss.
Yeah, we'll discuss. Yeah, go on with what you were saying about censorship with Disney.
No, it's just it got me thinking about like I looked into more stuff that they do on like a daily basis, and it's like they're shadow censoring a lot of stuff, hoping that no one will know that they've done it.
Yeah.
But then it's really contradictory because okay, so for example, they got rid of the baby doing the middle finger. Fine, and then they've got rid of like smoking things, like characters smoking in certain things. And yet, you think of like Avengers, there's that bit of Star-Lord when he dives, when he puts that thing on Thanos and he dives through a portal and he puts the middle finger up.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
I mean, I don't know what age rating Infinity War is, but there's
Roger
no
Rabbit's like a 12 now.
Yeah, there's no like when you watch stuff on a streaming service, there's not really any like protection against that for kids. Like they can just go on any account and watch any movie that's on there, whether it's a 12 or an 18.
Yeah, exactly. And I guess like stuff like Who Framed Roger Rabbit and everything like that, it was all done like what's the word? It was all done back then when they didn't anticipate you being able to pause a film in the middle of something. It was like a catch it if you can kind of thing. It's like the famous in Roger Rabbit again. Jessica Rabbit's when she flies out the car and her like full on pussy is just there.
Is that true?
Like it was one of the most paused moments of all time.
Nice. It's or like is it Teen Wolf when a guy in the background of a gymnasium pulls his dick out?
Yeah. Yeah,
I think
exactly.
we've talked about that. It's funny. The other day I was watching, with mum and the girls and all that. We watched a movie in the living room on Disney. It was called like Godmother, or like I don't know what it was called. Godmothered, I think.
Yeah.
And it was just like a dumb like Disney live action movie. It was just like very cringy, very childish, but it was fine. It was an easy watch. good feel good movie. But at one point, they make a money shot joke in the movie, and I just thought that was really bizarre because it's very clearly a children's movie, but yet they'll censor like middle finger and smoking, but they can make jokes about porn.
I suppose you always need like you always need something for the adults or the parents
I guess
kind
so.
of thing. It's like I was watching a montage of Peppa Pig being savage yesterday.
Did it have like that dumb like oh sound effects over it? Oh god.
But there was like a bit, and I was like, only an adult would really kind of get this, and like it will go over a kid's head. First off, if you're a parent and you let your kid watch Peppa Pig, you're doing a lot wrong there. Because Peppa Pig teaches kids to be a selfish little prick, to call out like when your dad's fat, to literally to make a boulder out of snow and slam it on your younger brother's face. And
fill it with rocks, slam it on his head.
Yeah. And it's like, I don't know how that show is so popular. It's just because the character is a twat. You don't learn anything. But anyway, there's a bit where the teacher in the class says, "Okay, everyone, let's see what vegetables you drew." And her little brother George, I think his name is like, "I drew a tomato," and it's like, "Very nice, George." And it's like, "Peppa, what did you draw?" And it's like, I drew my dad watching TV." It's like a kid wouldn't understand that joke.
No.
But an adult does. But when you think about it, that's like, it's just mean.
It'd be funnier if it like comes up with a picture of like Terry Schiavo or like some famous vegetable person.
Stephen Hawking.
Yeah.
I drew Stephen Hawking. Very good, Peppa.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, kid shows nowadays teach children very bad morals. Like, Caillou teaches kids just to be a little bitch all the time.
Yeah. I don't know. Speaking of Disney, how many people are going to be in this Spider-Man film?
I kind of hope it's one of those, like, they just get as many people as they can.
So it's apparently on the set photos. There's Alfred Molina as Dr. Octopus, Emma Stone.
I heard Matthew Cox, the guy who plays Daredevil, is supposed to be in it
apparently
as well,
he's in it.
Which
that's cool.
That is awesome because Daredevil is like one of the best shows on Netflix, and then it needs to find its way back.
I hope that like maybe this is a way of getting them. Who knows? Maybe on Disney Plus, like they're like working on bringing Daredevil back after this.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But there's another rumor that apparently, and this would be kind of cool if they did it, but also like, so apparently Tom Holland is cameoing as himself in the new Spider-Man film.
As Tom Holland.
Yeah.
So they're trying to say, is this going to be like a never-ending story situation where like you find
for the role?
Yeah, you find out like
the script.
He's getting ready to play Spider-Man in the movie. Yet Spider-Man from the movie universe comes to him.
Yeah. Oh god.
That's
thing is, I do feel like a lot of this could just be 5-second moments where Doctor Strange and Peter are going through like the multiverse,
and you just see them in the background.
Yeah,
that is gonna be what it is.
But it would be awesome if like they had to gather all these different versions to fight something, and it was like you actually had them, like Toby back in the suit.
Yeah,
and he dies. Toby fucking dies.
He sacrifices himself to save the multiverse. Well, that is literally what happens in like the original like Spider-Verse comics. Like they have to gather to basically defeat the Spider Eaters.
Oh. I hope that doesn't happen. That sounds gay as hell.
No,
But
I forget what they're called, but they're like gods of destruction, and they just like
what, Beerus?
basically, and they just happen to like eating the Spider-Man from because every universe has like a Spider-Man, but they
And
all
they're
take
yummy.
different. Yeah, but they all take like different forms.
Oh,
Actually,
okay.
that was cool. In one of them, one of the Spider-Men it's still Peter Parker, but it's when he's a teenager, and because he's like basically a loser and a nerd and no one likes him, he goes crazy, and he turns into like an actual half Spider-Man with like fucking the 8 legs and shit and all the eyes, and like he's like rips off Mary Jane's head, and then one of the Spider-Eaters comes in and kills him.
That's pretty metal, actually.
Yeah, it's basically also the Batman metal comics, kind of cool.
Oh yeah. Well, that's okay. To be fair, that's pretty cool. But they won't do anything like that.
No, no, they won't. They won't.
And I am calling it now. But the status quo will be back to normal at the end of Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
And no one will know who he is.
That'd be cool.
Would it? Because I liked the idea of him having to go forward, everyone knowing that he's Spider-Man. Just like in like kind of Civil War
No,
and shit, like
no,
the comics.
I totally agree. Like, yeah, but even in the comics, they go back on that after the Civil War
True.
to basically say like, oh no, he was just pretending to be like, I don't know. It would.
I just
it
feel
would
like it'll be.
cool.
Yeah.
It would be fucking awesome if he had people do actually know he's Peter Parker, but there's no chance they'd ever do that.
No.
So if they at least find a cool way of fixing it.
Do you think as well that they might have in the animated Miles Morales from Into the Spider-Verse at some point? Because that would be really cool.
That'd be cool, but would they get a guy to play him like in real life, or would it be like an animated version of him?
It would be the animated version from
that, because that would be awesome if like they're going through the universes and it's almost like they have to go through these different like animation styles.
Yeah,
like maybe they even go through like, the old like
70s
cartoons, and like you see
end up in the 70s Spider-Man, the old Spider-Man. That'd be sick.
Oh, that'd be so sick, actually.
You know, there's gonna be shit like that where Doctor Strange and Spider-Man end up in the scene where it's the two Spider-Man pointing at each other.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
Oh god, that's like the only film I'm fucking looking forward to. Oh shit! Speaking of films, the fact that every Warner Brothers HBO, like every Warner Brothers thing, is just gonna be streamed.
Yeah, I love it.
It's sad, but it's also interesting. I mean, June. I want to see that in the cinema, but if we can't, we can just watch it.
Yeah, I think it's great because I do love going to the cinema, but I also hate it when it's like for a lot of movies.
Yeah,
because I remember when some of the movies we've seen in cinema, like that are more like indie artsy films, like A24 movies. It's really cool because it's usually really empty. Not a lot, but
yeah,
like
you
people
get sucked into the atmosphere. And shit.
Yeah, the people there are actually paying attention to the movie. But then you go see something like Ready Player One, and it's just a bunch of like fucking slobbering morons. Like,
I mean, hey,
drawing
look,
over them.
did we see Ready Player One together?
I think so. Yeah.
Do you remember there was one guy on his own, like 2 rows in front of us.
Didn't he like clap every time there was like a reference to like a movie or something?
Every goddamn time. But like, I find it hard in those situations because I'm like, oh, you know what?
He's
enjoying himself. And then
Yeah.
Billy was sat next to me being like, shut the fuck up. It's not funny. It's not good. Why are you clapping? It's like, Billy, leave him alone, man.
I will say though, watching Endgame in the cinema was fucking awesome. Like
That was it. Yeah.
I genuinely don't really like a lot of the, superhero movies anymore, but like that experience of like everyone like cheering when like the portals opened and shit.
Oh, no.
That was such a hype moment.
Yeah. To be fair, and I remember when I saw it, they let people in, and people were sitting in like in the aisle bits on the stairs
Oh shit.
because it was fully booked, but they were like, "Fuck it, like you want to see it." So yeah, and
Yeah.
everyone was cheering. Like, but then I had the same thing with like when we were like watching the Last Jedi and shit. How like it was so bad, but everyone was in agreement in the cinema, and everyone was like, "Oh, I laugh the funny things," and
Wait, didn't we saw Last Jedi together, didn't we?
yeah,
Because I specifically remember we watching it, and then you sort of have that like moment when the movie ends, and we all like looked at each other because we were like, "Was that terrible?"
yeah.
Because
No
we were
one
like,
knew. Like,
"Does everyone else agree that that's terrible?"
it's so weird being so super indifferent after watching a film. I've never felt like that.
Yeah, because yeah, could be a whole talk about the Last Jedi again, but I I love a lot of the ideas in that movie.
Yeah, yeah, same. I wish they had like the things about like oh, I don't know. Won't get into it. We won't get into the details, but things like Ray when he says to her stuff like, "Oh, you are a no one." That is all good.
Yeah, she
That's the
should.
point. And then the ending with the little kid and he's got the power of the
Yeah,
Force. It's like yeah,
anyone can be a Jedi. Like that's so.
but then it's like nah.
No, actually, and the fact that they did the whole changing writers and directors for the second movie is so dumb because you get these really cool ideas that Ryan Johnson wants to do, and then J.J. Abrams is like, no, 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 no. This isn't what I wanted to do. Then why the fuck did you let him do it?
His stupid thing of like mystery box writing.
What a cunt.
Like, I don't know. I used to like J.J. Abrams though.
Yeah.
Like before 2015, I probably liked it. Yeah.
I think the last movie he probably did that I actually thought was good was like wait, didn't he do Star Trek Beyond?
No.
Is that a different director?
That was oh shit, what's his name? He did Aquaman. He did Conjuring.
Oh, something. Is it
James
something
Wan?
Wong?
James
Yeah,
Wan?
yeah, that sounds
Wan?
right. He did
Yeah.
that movie.
He did that one. I don't know why. Oh, it's because J.J. Abrams was doing Star Wars
Right.
or working on
Well,
that.
okay, well, I like some of the Star Trek movies. Beyond was kind of cringy, to be honest, but it was enjoyable.
Wait, what was that?
Yeah, Star Trek Beyond was a like really like cringy movie for parts of it. When like the Beastie Boys kicks in when they're like flying around these like weird space bees.
Oh yeah.
Like it's stupid, but it's enjoyable.
Yeah. It was pretty yeah. I don't mind those films. I know everyone hates Into Darkness. I mean, yeah, that was pretty bad, but it's like it's just action, it's just dumb.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like Star Wars I mean, obviously we've been watching Mandalorian pretty slowly. I know everyone's like I've basically seen so much shit now that I'm like, oh well.
Yeah. You know what? I want to talk about this actually because I'm so frustrated because I love like Star Wars lore, like I love the Clone Wars, like all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
But we've been watching The Mandalorian like pretty slowly. But like something from the most recent episodes has been spoiled for me. Literally the day after they come out. And I got really frustrated at my friends when I was talking about it and they were like, "Bro, just watch it. You should have seen it already." Like it's been a day.
Like, I know. And
Like-
plus like certain time like with one character reveal that happened, that was on the day.
Yeah.
Or like, and then something else that's just been, that I saw from one of the recent ones, which looks cool, but I would have liked to have watched that myself. It's like, same fucking thing. People putting up too much shit.
Yeah. Like I'm still gonna watch it and I'm still gonna enjoy it.
Oh yeah.
But it would have been so much more enjoyable if I didn't know this. And yeah, people are like, oh well, it's streaming, so you can just watch it like the day it comes out. It's like, yeah, but I could also, wait until I'm in the mood to watch it. Or And
Yeah, exactly.
there are movies that came out 50 years ago that are like amazing and have great like endings or whatever that haven't been spoiled for me.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
And that's the thing though, like if you spoiled something like, I don't know, like something like that from that long ago, like even something like Godfather or something like that, to someone like your mate saying, "Oh, just watch Mandalorian." If it was something that they didn't care about until they got to it, and you had spoiled it, they'd be pissed off.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, it really annoys me.
you could easily spoil like really old movies like fucking Citizen Kane for someone, and they probably
And they'd be
wouldn't
pissed.
care. Yeah, they probably wouldn't care originally because like, I'm never going to watch that. But when they actually do, it takes away a lot of that enjoyment when you already know what's going on.
Oh well, but yeah, because it's like even with Star Wars, like if you hadn't seen Rogue One and someone said to you, "Oh, the ending, there's a cameo from a certain character that like wrecks shit up,"
Yeah,
you'd be pissed off that someone told you about it.
yeah, because like, especially when you get like kind of specific but not specific about it, when you're just like, oh yeah, there's a character that shows up at the end, and you know, with a red lightsaber, and you know,
Well, that's the thing.
they fuck some
If
shit up.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, great, thanks.
Yeah. If you're vague enough, fine. Oh, there's a character that we all know
Yeah, you
comes
could just
back
say-
at the end. Fine.
Yeah, but even that, I'd be like, that's you could come on when you're like, everyone knows who this
didn't
is
have to
from
say
Star
it.
Wars. If you're just like, just say there's a cool cameo. That's all you need to say.
Yeah. There's a cool cameo from a guy wearing a mask in a black suit with a red lightsaber, and he breathes really
Yeah.
heavy.
Yeah, it's like Jedi Fallen Order. Like,
Yeah, I was just going to bring that up.
there's a really cool cameo from a character in that, and I'm so glad I didn't know about it going into it. Because when I
Yeah, I
finally got
remember
there,
asking you about Fallen Order, and you were like, "Oh, there is like cool moments in it." You didn't say anything about it, so I had no idea something was.
yeah,
And then it was like, "Oh yeah, it's not just like a cutscene; it's like an entire like bit you have to like do." It's like,
Yeah,
okay, cool. But
I really want another one of those games.
I know I want another one of those, but I don't want it to be as buggy as that one was.
Yeah, true. There's so many like game breaking bits you could just. What else have we been talking about?
Oh wait, one more thing. I was talking about the start, how Disney are going and like editing shit out. Mandalorian. Did you see there's like a shot in one of the episodes that we haven't seen yet where there's a guy wearing jeans and a Casio watch.
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter.
They've edited him out.
That's so fucked. I love that. Just leave him in. That's fine.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
God damn it.
yeah, he's just like stood like slightly around the corner. It's funny. I was once when I was working on a set for a TV show. There's like I won't say what it is, but there's like you can see my shadow like really far in the background, like right by a corner, because my job was just like to like manage the back of the lot so that people wouldn't walk into shot.
That is cool. But it's like, imagine if they edited you out, you'd be pretty pissed.
I'd be mad. Be like, bro, that's
Edit
my
your
shadow. That's my shadow.
Yeah, it's like imagine if they edited your shadow out and then you disappear in life.
I just fade away.
But it's like, imagine if that's why like people love all the kind of 70s style of like, that's why it's so fun to watch all those old films, because you
Yeah.
see shit like that. Imagine if Disney went back and took out like the stormtrooper hitting his head on the door.
Yeah, it would lose so much charm. I like the idea of when a thing is made, that's it. That's how it's done. That's how it is. Like warts and all.
There's been such really bad examples of that, like is it like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remasters and stuff, or the Evil Dead remasters, where they've gone through and edited? There's like, I can't remember, it must be Evil Dead. They're driving over a bridge, and there's like you can see the head of a guy beneath the bridge, and he's like, and they went in and CGI'd it out so bad. They've just copy and pasted the bushes over him, and it's just like,
awful.
why?
Oh god, I love like a lot of those like subreddits and stuff that are dedicated to just finding like issues like that in movies, like,
Yeah.
and it's always really quick things where it's like a character is stood in front of a car or something, and as a car drives, or they're stood in a road and a car drives past, you can see like the cameraman in the reflection or something.
Yeah.
I love stuff like that. Like that's fun to me.
Yeah.
It doesn't ruin it or take you out of the movie, I don't think. Unless it's
No, exactly.
unless it's incredibly obvious and like breaks a scene.
It's fun to point that shit out. Like recently, I've been rewatching, just having Friends on in the background because, of course, and it's like there was one where I can't remember what episode it was, but it was like there was a guy in a blue shirt in the background in Central Perk, and he's like talking to another guy, and he's in the corner. You know when it faces like the armchair with the little table,
Yeah.
and you can see the bar. So there's like two guys chatting, and then it cuts, and Rachel like walks in. And then the guy's just stood there. The blue shirt guy is just stood there with no one else around him. Like literally, he's like this.
Oh, that poor guy.
Almost like he's like this.
He's just T-posing into reality.
But then it cuts back, and then he's there chatting with this other guy again, like, oh yeah, haha. But then he's like,
Yeah,
it's great.
There's because I've been watching Friends as well, because I always watch it around like Christmas time, big Christmas vibes, and I noticed something kind of like that. It was an episode where Ross he was like trying to open the door and Chandler was stopping him. He like really forcefully like pulls the door open, and like it makes a really loud noise, and then it cuts to the next shot and he does it again. Like it
yeah.
Like he like opens it, it cuts, and he opens it. The door
Yeah,
again.
I think we saw that as well.
It's like, but I wouldn't trade that. I wouldn't get rid of those. They're great.
No, exactly. Oh god. Speaking of Friends, I sent you that thing. I went on like a 45-minute just deep dive. I wish I hadn't have done. Where Jennifer Aniston, where Rachel goes over Ross's apartment and to borrow the stuff for the margarita mix, and there's cash in his little tray, and underneath the cash was a PS1 disc. You don't get to see it ever again, and all you could see was the very edge and a bit of title where it was just like a little bobble.
Yeah.
Oh man, I spent 45 minutes trying to find that. I searched every single racing game for 1999, the time that the episode was aired. But then I had to find different covers, Japanese and European covers for games. And I ended up finding, I think it's just called Rally Racer or something.
Yeah, like Dirt Rally or something.
Dirt Rally. Oh man, I was so happy to find that.
That's
and then in the episode the other day, you've got obviously like Crash Team Racing.
Yeah,
and shit.
I was gonna say they play like racing games and that
all the time. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know. Friends such a good show. One of my favorite moments though, like, is something that is so stupid. It's when they're in Vegas and Rachel and Ross get really drunk.
Yeah.
And they like draw on each other's faces. Obviously, he does that to Rachel on the plane. And they're downstairs. They go downstairs and they're really drunk. And they're looking at a statue that's got his penis out. And they're like, oh, hello. But when they walk past, Ross does like this weird cat meow off screen. And, it's like, and you see him go past. And it's so fucking funny. But it's like the audience doesn't really laugh. I need to find it. Ross cat noise.
David Schwimmer is he's genuinely a really good actor, especially like comedy wise. Like his
comedy wise, yeah.
As Ross, like his delivery on a lot of like specific lines and stuff is so perfect.
Yeah, he is fantastic as Ross.
I watched one of the episodes with Emily, you know, his second wife, recently, and in one of them, I think he was worried that she was a lesbian, and he was talking to his ex-wife.
He goes to England
with Susan, I think her name is.
Yeah.
He was like talking to them, always talking to her, being like, "Do you not think there's like the slightest possibility?" And the delivery when he's like, "Oh my god, I didn't believe it until you just said it." It's like some of his shit like that is so perfect.
Yeah. Oh man. So David Schwimmer is in this new show called Intelligence. Apparently it's fucking dreadful.
Yeah.
But why isn't it? It's not working.
It
Hold
was
on.
a
I'm gonna
Sky
try and
show.
put a picture. I'm gonna try and put a picture of his face.
It was a Sky show, wasn't it?
I think so. But did you see the shot they used from the front? And it's like his face.
He looks really weird in it, doesn't he?
Yeah, look at it. I
Let me
just
look.
put it in our text chat. It's horrible. He looks like a fish.
He has a long face and a very like small chin.
Yeah. Look at him with those AirPods.
To be
Damn.
fair, AirPods are the move. Oh, just saw the picture of we had from last week of the Pope and the girl's Instagram he liked.
Oh yeah, because he was blessing the arse. Oh yeah, because I also played. Wait, hold on. Let me just. Can we just stare at the picture of him just for a minute while this music plays again?
Okay.
Because it's a damn shame. Hold on. It's not working. No. Wait. Here we go.
This man just wanted some coochie. What can he say?
My man.
It must suck being the Pope, to be honest.
Why?
Well, I don't know. It's like imagine being the Queen. Like you got so much responsibility, and you can't just go do like normal person things. Could just spend a day watching Netflix, probably.
That's true. Although, I mean, the Queen nowadays has like no. She just stays at home and mourns like every corgi dying and puts up 18 like Christmas trees that cost the taxpayer like 5 million in her house that no one else is gonna see. But
yeah, she needs to stop that. We need to stop the Queen.
It's funny though, because like I have that cynical view on the royal family that like they don't really do anything for us, and even now it's no one really cares about them. But like I said to you, if you watch The Crown, like season 3 and 4, yeah, you get the point of why the Queen was a big deal back in the day when she actually had power and she had like issues to do. But now she has fuck all to do.
Yeah, well, because it's literally she's just an old woman.
Yeah.
It
is funny. It's funny though when you see her at like events now, and she does not give a fuck. She's probably there like because she's apparently quite funny, like really dry, sarcastic humor. And there's like interviews with her where she's like that. And in The Crown, they have a bit of that as well. And you just know she's thinking in her head like, "Fuck this.
Fuck this. I don't want to
go put my slippers on, get in bed, watch
fucking Downton Abbey."
Downton Abbey, or watch The Boys or something. Like,
yeah. I mean,
I want to go and play like Genshin Impact or Persona. Like,
the Queen is just like playing Persona 5 in her spare time.
She's trying to get that platinum.
By the way, not yesterday, but the day before, I finally platinumed Bloodborne.
God damn.
It took me fucking ages because those goddamn chalice dungeons are a bitch. But like,
were they the pre-made ones or the ones done by other people?
Pre-made ones, but to go through and get some of the items to unlock them, I had to do like custom ones and stuff. Yeah. But they are so much more difficult than the rest of the game. Like the later ones, like the final like 2 or 3 that you have to do are insanely difficult. But they got me like so like battle ready, so that like when I did have to fight the final boss of the game, Gurnam and the Blood Moon presence, did them both first try, like so easy. Nice. But like
nice.
But like though the fights in the dungeon took me so long.
Yeah, they don't sound fun. Like I remember doing a couple of them, and I was just like, nah, I didn't have the patience for it.
Yeah.
But,
Well, I think they're built more for like if you're doing like New Game Plus or something, or like you're in like your second or third playthrough of the game,
yeah,
when you're like really like decked out.
it's such a daunting thing though, going to start one of those games again. Like,
Yeah.
but then if you can platinum Bloodborne, then like, did you platinum Sekiro?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you platinum those. Like, none of them are an issue for you. It's like if
But
you when you finally get like PS5 or whatever, and you play Demon Souls, like that is compared to all of them is easy as shit.
yeah.
Well, not easy as shit, but
Well, like I've played the first
simple.
Dark Souls so many times that
Mm,
like I could literally just sit and beat that game in like an afternoon.
yeah,
And it not because it's like I'm like, oh, it's easy now, but I just know all of like
you know
every
what
like
to do.
every enemy's patterns. I know where to get all the good items.
Yeah,
And like with Sekiro, that was a bit different because after a while that game becomes so intuitive because
yeah,
it's so different than the other From Software games.
that's true. I kind of hope that they do another Sekiro or something in that vein, like go more vertical again, and like,
Yeah,
but they might announce something at the Game Awards. Who knows? There are rumors.
maybe. Isn't there? They're working on. Is it called Elden's Ring or something?
Oh, Elden Ring, yeah, fucking hell. I mean, that game was announced like 3 years ago.
Mm.
It's been written by the From Software. What's his name?
Hide Hideka Miyazaki.
Miyazaki and George R. R. Martin. I mean, just attaching that fucking fatso's name, it's never coming out, and they haven't
No,
said anything about it since.
yeah, like
But there's entire like fan Reddits done for Elden Ring.
I know it's insane. I love it.
But who knows? Maybe we'll see. We might actually see something about that. Holy shit!
If we did, that'd be if George R. R. Martin came out as like to present one of the awards. He's
Gay.
like, oh, by the way, there's I'm gay.
I finally have something to announce. And it's like the cover of like Winds of Winter is behind him, but then he's just like it opens and it's like I'm gay. I am now they/them.
I'm no longer George. I am Georgina.
Georgina R.R. Martina.
Yeah. I wonder what the RR stands for.
Railroad. I don't know.
But the one I think
Royal.
Royal Regis Philbin. We should probably end this, by the way, because it's nearly an hour and a half we've been talking. I just
I
want to
know.
say,
I've got to go anyway, but
yeah, I
Go
just
on.
want to say, I saw on the news the other day that our hometown Oxford, where J.R.R. Tolkien came from, there's lots of petitions and stuff to try and save his home
estate.
where he wrote Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
And why? Like, what are you gonna do with that? You're gonna put literally all they could do is put up a sign that says, "By the way, this is where J.R.R. Tolkien wrote this book." Who gives a shit?
I know. I think it's different if it's like a monumental, like a castle. Like,
Sure.
I do think things like that should be saved.
It's
but
literally
like fucking
it's a
a cottage.
it's literally just a dingy old house.
Yeah. I don't know. Like people put too much sentimentality on stuff like that. When it's like you think like they could probably knock it down and over it you could build like a complex for people that are homeless, for example. But no, we need to save the house of a guy
Yeah.
who died many years ago.
Many years ago. Yeah,
Like okay.
wrote 2 notable books and a bunch of shit that no one ever read.
Hey, the Silmarillion is
Yeah,
not a good
actually
book.
I read that book. It was okay.
Yeah, it was
And,
super fine.
Yeah. I mean, he's
But,
written other books that sound cool, but I'm never gonna read them.
No, no one's going to do that.
Yeah,
But yeah,
sorry.
I mean, if they opened his house as a museum and there was still loads of stuff there, and then the money from that went to charity, fine.
Yeah,
But they're not going to do that. They
No,
just want it to stay there.
they just want it to become like a historical landmark so that the government can't touch it, which means that nothing can ever be done with that property. And it's just going to be some dumb fuck off house in the middle of nowhere that people walk past and say, "Hey,
Yeah.
that guy lived there."
And it won't matter when we're all just one giant hive mind anyway.
But when we're all a bunch of jelly men,
Digital presence.
bringing it full circle. Yeah, shit doesn't matter because we're all going to be invertebrate jellies.
Exactly. And I can't wait. But now it's time to go. So
It's time. Yeah, thanks for watching. If you made it this far,
I doubt anyone did. But
probably not.
that's okay.
All right,
but yeah, we'll put up something about the Game Awards. I think we're gonna do some sort
I think
of
that'd be cool.
thing for that. We'll just do cut out highlights and shit. Subscribe if anyone is watching this, and we'll send you goodie bags on your 25th birthday.
We'll send you all personalized messages on Twitter in the DMs.
Yep.
If you would so like, with kisses.
Yeah. One kiss though, no more. No less.
I mean,
don't get ahead of yourself.
Don't get greedy.
Yeah.
All right, okay, bye.
Yeah.